Hey, what up, Long Beach? Welcome back to the 562.org. It's Mike.
And Tyler, and this high school football highlight is brought to you by the fine folks down at Naples Rib Company. All of our football coverage this season is sponsored by our friends down at Memorial Care. All of our coverage of Long Beach Poly is sponsored by Bryson Financial. And all of our coverage of Wilson is sponsored by Joel Batonio. Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Look at Plug God over here. Stephen Barbie and Scott Meyer getting together for a nice casual meeting of Wilson and Poly, the 91st anniversary meeting of these two teams, the oldest rivalry in the city. You got to make sure you're in shape. You got to make sure you're hyped up, Tyler. It's the big game.
Well, I'm certainly one of those things. Nice to see the sportsmanship circle before the game. Keeping it friendly, keeping it cordial here at Vets. When you see like long-term rivalries like this, there's generations of Jackrabbits and Bruins. Always a great show of sportsmanship. Character counts.
Absolutely. Christian Chapman ready for the bright lights. The Bruins running back out there getting things started. Poly would get the ball, but then a whoopsie wildcat, and the hit from behind would dislodge it, and it's Ethan Garcia who dives on it for the Bruins.
A great start there for the visitors, getting a little momentum early, and the turnover bug biting Poly again, but Noodles with the get back against the Bruins, a big hit up the middle. That is not the guy you want to see in the hole.
For sure, but Wilson in the red zone, Chapman ready to try out for the track team. This would be a pretty good track meet, by the way. He's getting his best high jump mark right there for the first down, but a snap over Matt Cooper's head. Sophomore Wisely falling on it. Bruins would miss a field goal. Ball back to the Jackrabbits.
Darius Curry looking for Luke Bugs to move the sticks. A reliable security blanket over the middle. Then Darius Curry looking for Charles Clinton. Beautiful ball into that window as Poly goes up 6-0. Clinton we saw back in the lineup last week, and he's continuing in this one.
For sure. Obviously, Wilson's so close to getting on the board there, but Poly just that quick turns it around. And then here's a weird one. This is picked off by Milo Tusa, and then there's a fumble, and then Dylan Williams, the Oregon commit, scoops it up. Looked like he got his first touchdown of the year, but it would be called back on a hold. Still, the end zone memories live forever, Tyler. Jackrabbits offense with the ball. Curry to Bugs. I'm going to call this a blown coverage on me. I think I was supposed to get out there and get him like that Friday Night Lights scene. And then Curry looking for a Roscoe, but it's Hudson Diebel with the great pass breakup. Almost looked like a volleyball play going up for the spike right there.
Yeah, it looks like Curry didn't see no Diebel on that play, but Curry would eventually find Ezekiel Orozco, and Spider-Man hauls it in. That's going to put Poly up 13-0 late in the first. Orozco has really turned into a major target for Curry this season.
For sure, the junior, very bright future for the Jackrabbits, and a wide array of celebrations to go with the touchdown. But for Wilson, Leighton Scott V is a guy. We were really excited to see what he looked like against this Jackrabbit defense, and the answer is he looked good.
The fifth is tough to handle, Mike, for sure. Bruins try the play action off that, but Troy Tomasoa is all over it.
Poly with the ball, they're going to showcase some speed themselves. The sophomore Malachi Dawson was one of the fastest freshmen in the state in the spring for the track season last year. But Curry picked off by DeJon Harold. Bruins going the other way, an opportunistic Wilson defense looking to make some plays. It's actually Curry himself who's able to track Harold down in the red zone.
But Wilson driving, and Poly's wearing gray, so of course it's going to be camo. Cameron Girardi with the interception for Poly, bringing it back the other way with a nice return. Another new guy to that Poly defense.
Curry looking for Jordan Malaulu, and that's going to put the Jackrabbits up 19-0 midway through the second. But once again, Wilson knocking on the door of getting on the board in this game. Poly's able to get a takeaway and then immediately march down the field and score. Definitely a frustrating night for that Wilson offense, and a very impressive night by the Poly defense.
Yeah, it's a gut punch when those missed opportunities turns into points the other way. Dante Wright Jr., one of the super talented freshmen for the Jackrabbits, tracks down Cooper for the sack. He was all over the field tonight. And then it's some track speed for Poly in the backfield.
Freshman Ben Harris, he was a USA Track Youth National Champ in the 100, and he looks like it. That was not quite a straightaway 100. He had a little bend in there, but he still runs through the finish line nonetheless. A 59-yard touchdown for the freshman. Welcome to varsity, and a very impressive start to his Poly career.
Speaking of impressive, I mean, Christian Chapman, every time we see Deuce running the ball, we're impressed. He was over 100 yards rushing, as he and Scott both looked really good. But on this trick play here, Barbie going to throw it up, and...
it's my paisano, Girardi. Oh, Camo does it again. The Ghirardelli grab. We love to see 2-3 going up and getting that ball. He said the defensive line was creating enough pressure. He was able to use that 6'3" frame and just go up and get paid. And very impressive stuff. We start the second half. It's the Beresford Bear. Mikey Beresford's going to field it at the 4, and he gone, Tyler, just like that.
Yeah, it's a little 4 for 4, maybe some post-game celebratory Wendy's on this one, as the blocks are all good. That flag that you may have seen would be picked up and waved off, and that's great news for Mikey Beresford because he has a lot of celebrating to do.
Well, we spin the ball. And then we did. Now you got to respect that he comes to the sideline first. Sure. No flags, but yes, he was literally at one point fielding dance requests from his teammates as he did everything he could to celebrate that 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Well, he was well rested after halftime, so it makes sense. Scott with 111 total yards receiving and rushing for the Bruins.
Yeah, and like when kids ball out in the Moore League season, I'm always curious to see how they'll stack up against Poly. I think that's always a big question, and the answer for Scott and Chapman was they stacked up very well. 210 yards, they were able to get to the edge, they were able to run through contact. Both of these kids absolutely deserve scholarship attention, and happy to see that it's starting to come in.
Dante Wright, as we mentioned, all over the field, goes up with the interception. Deuce with the pick'ems.
Big play from the freshman. Obviously, that younger class looking so good for the Jackrabbits in this game. Curry finding Clinton, but it's Harold again. That Wilson defense dialed in on Curry. See him rolling out, know who he's looking for, and that's going to be the second interception for Harold.
Yeah, it's like me in Chicago going back to Harold's for seconds there. They do punt it away. Jordan Malaulu, forgetting he's an offensive guy as he trucks through Jordan Mala through you on that one, Mike.
Yeah, he thought he was a safety on that play, but Poly with the ball back, and he goes back to being a receiver. This is the kind of playmaking we're used to seeing from Malaulu, the Fresno State commit. He gets down the sideline and into the red zone. And then Curry with touchdown number 4 as he hits a Roscoe again. Easy as you like it. Right over the top for 1-7. And the celebrations were a little more dialed in this time. Looking a little bit crisper, Tyler.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that was his second of the night. And then sophomore Deuce Jefferson. Deuce is such a great running back name. The Deuce is loose. His first carry as a Jackrabbit goes for a 29-yard touchdown as that puts the finishing touches on the 46-0 win. So shout out to Deuce getting in there and making something happen.
Very impressive stuff for the Jackrabbits as they get their first shutout of the season, 46-0. Plenty to build off of for Wilson, who are sitting at 3-3 and ready to make a push for the playoffs. Poly will be at Cabrillo on Thursday next week. Wilson will host Jordan in a critical game for that playoff race.